Welcome to a place where spirituality and logics combine through organized vibrations. Experience the freedom of voice, individuality, and the correlation of purpose.
When we say the fake hip hop shit, we talking about the government.
If we don't do something as a culture, hip hop is not going to be ours anymore.
They keep playing that same song.
If you're going to talk about a revolutionary situation, you have to have people who are physically able to wage revolution.
Without further ado, open your minds to Organized Vybes. Your host.
Welcome back to another episode of OV, y'all. This is Lito.
And right by his side is Boobs.
And this is Organized Vybes, where knowledge, facts, and beliefs are tested no matter your tone. We're only here to make you think, question while embracing the facts and your senses. We move and operate on facts itself and the proper research. The information comes from valid sources which can be provided. As a family and movement, we shy away from providing any personal opinion.
All right, welcome back to another week. It's been a very eventful week.
Yes, say the least.
Exactly. So let's just jump right into it. This week, we're going to actually, as we already prefaced last week, we're going to cut it down to about 30 minutes. Today, we're just going to spit straight facts. We have, of course, the main event of the week, the mass shooting in Florida. Okay. Very similar stories to what we've already heard. So we're going to kind of break that down. We have some clips to break down for you as well. So today's episode is going to be targeted towards mass shootings and the assault on AR-15s. So really breaking it down, let's just get into it.
Let's just jump in.
Exactly. So, of course, on Wednesday, February 14th, we all heard of the suspect allegedly named Nicholas Cruz, 19 years old. Okay, carrying a duffel bag and a backpack where he had loaded magazines. He entered Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland. This happened in Florida. Reportedly, he appeared in an Uber, on Wednesday, and pulled out a semi-automatic AR-15 rifle. And basically shot people inside about 5 classrooms on both the first and second floors of the school building. They're stating allegedly that he then discarded the rifle, a vest, and ammunition in a stairwell, and then proceeded to blend in with other students, and that's how he initially got away.
Supposedly.
This is all, again, allegedly. And then after leaving the school, allegedly, he walked into a Walmart, bought a drink.
Went to McDonald's.
Then he stopped at McDonald's, so he was just,
they're saying that basically this is the deadliest shooting in U.S. since since Newtown, Connecticut 5 years ago.
There you go.
So they're saying this is the deadliest shooting since. Now we have a couple clips. We're going to just basically hear what happened because we basically broke down. You guys really understand the background anyway because you guys watch the news.
Absolutely.
You guys know what's going on. So we have a couple clips. We're going to play that students, parents were asked questions on the scene after the shooting. So this is the first clip, and then we'll come back and we're gonna start. We have a couple, so we'll play it back to back, and then we'll come back and start dissecting what they were saying and what's going on. So this is the first clip.
One teacher's dead. That's what there's 2 security guards who are dead. The teacher's dead, and then my other teacher, she got shot in the arm, but she's fine. She just started walking home too.
Can you tell us again, when did you realize that there was an issue?
So it was the first fire drill that happened this morning. It was the first fire drill this morning. And then there was a second one, and we were all thinking, it's either a real fire drill or they're just doing this again on accident. And then they taught us, they said that if there's a fire drill, they want all the kids to run out. So that would make an easier shot. Everybody just starts pushing each other, running, and then we're kind of just is this what's happening? And then we realized we thought this was a drill because they said they'll use blanks in a drill, but they actually didn't. It was real. And we got out and they started yelling at us to keep focused and pay attention ahead, the army people, because they didn't want us to see the bodies that they hit in the corner. They were putting mats over them so we wouldn't see them.
And do you think there was more than one
There's
shooter?
3 shooters.
Presence here at the hospital as the suspect here.
Yo, what suspect? Where is he?
The questions will begin, the interview process.
Where is he? There's nobody on that. Are you fucking kidding me?
There he goes. He just went from the back of the ambulance on the gurney.
You know, sometimes you put anything in front of you that you can to try to protect yourself. And we were reading that your friends suggested you just get a book, hold up a book.
Yeah.
Did you
my
tell
friend,
me about that?
Yeah, she was. She was the one who pushed me, and we were running. Like we were already situated in the by the bookshelf, and she's like, "Grab a book, grab a book." So I took a book. It was a tiny book, but I took a book and I held it up, and I believe maybe the book kind of deterred some of the bullets, so it didn't hit me so badly. But she was the one who gave me the idea. Yeah, she definitely helped a lot. The gunman, there was 2 people in the hallway that I know, and I believe that they were shot. And after I heard those 2 gunshots, then we started running, and then he came for our classroom. So he came after he shot those other 2.
The first thing that came to mind was my mother.
What did you think?
What is my mom gonna do without me? I'm her stone. Some were already saying, crying, some were saying, oh my goodness.
Had you heard the gunshots at that point?
No, I did not, but people said there's gunshots downstairs. Going down the stairs, I saw more blood, backpacks thrown everywhere. It was like a movie scene. There was gunpowder all over the floor, and I don't know if this is real or fake, because we had rumors going around the school that the police would do a fake code red with fake fake guns, not actual, but sounding real. And I thought at the beginning that this was it was all a drill. It was just a drill. And where it was just so real, but it felt so fake at the same time.
Yeah, I'm on the phone with her right now. What is she
Oh, she's on the phone.
She's saying she's at the Marriott. Come get her. Okay, I'm coming to the Marriott right now. I'm doing this interview and I'm sprinting.
Oh, her daughter's just been in a school shooting, but she's gonna do the interview first.
I'm leaving right after this interview. In the front. I'll
Fucking
be in the
beautiful.
front of the Marriott by the door. Okay, love you. Okay,
She didn't even finish talking to her.
For taking the time. We really appreciate it. It kind of take us through what happened. What time did you hear from your daughter? We were just looking at some of the text messages.
Look at how confused she looks.
I just felt like the whole thing was completely surreal.
I'm a fucking dingbat.
This text. I'll call her right back in 1 minute.
This is goddamn comical.
My other daughter at Westlake. She sent me a text. And
Look at the goddamn people they put on TV to try to pull off their agenda.
No, it's surreal.
Do people buy this shit?
It's like
I have a couple of discrepancies with this one. There's a lot of things that we just heard. A lot of things that we just heard, and a lot of you, I'm sure, heard it on the mainstream media.
Yeah.
So let's just get right into it.
Let's get to the first one. The student basically saying that there's multiple shooters.
Multiple shooters, and only one suspect was arrested.
Teacher was shot, but she walked home right after.
That was alarming to me. So if you're shot, the procedure, I think, is normally to take you to at least to get evaluated in an emergency situation, like to the ER. They never just, of course, especially if it's a bullet, they don't just kind of pat it up and you go home.
So she got stitched up and she went home.
Exactly.
All right, so that's the first clip. She was basically breaking it down, letting everyone know that it was a false alarm.
That's another
it was
main
supposed to be
thing.
a drill.
Yes.
And then it happened again. The fire alarm went off again.
So that's why a lot of them are saying, "Oh, I just thought it was another drill. I thought it was just not happening." Because earlier that morning they had announced that there was going to be fake code red drills. Okay, so they already had the drills earlier in the morning, so they thought that it going off again. Oh, that's just another drill.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so and that they would use blanks. So just keep being
and they were told to run outside, as fast as they can, push, shove, so they.
Well, that's a discrepancy right there, because one person is saying they were told to run outside and then the other another student was saying they're actually told to keep focused by the SWAT.
Absolutely.
So,
but that's all right. So that's the first clip. We're going from clip to clip.
Yes.
All right. So that's the first clip. Now the second clip we played was them showing a gurney leaving the school, going to an ambulance, or going to the hospital. I'm sorry,
Yes.
leaving the ambulance, going into the hospital. There was no one on the gurney.
If you
Reason
look
why the viewer
closely,
that was listening, that you heard as like a narrator, he was absurd. He said, "Hey, there's no one there." All right, we won't post pictures online while this is playing so you guys can see.
Exactly.
But there was no one on the gurney. All right, third clip. All right, someone's talking about holding up a book. This young lady is talking about holding up a book.
So she suggested that her friend said to hold up a book. Now, it would have been different for me if it was, she didn't even state the size of the book, but she specifically stated that it was a tiny book.
Tiny book.
So a tiny book is going to deter some bullets. So she said it deterred some bullets, but it didn't hit her so badly.
It didn't hit her so badly. So how were you taking an interview?
Thank
you weren't shot. It didn't hit you so
any
badly. So what did you get hit by?
Yep.
That's the question now. That's the question I have. What did you get hit by?
Yep.
For you to still be taking an interview with no hits or no gunshot wounds or anything.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
Talking about deflecting bullets. You're not a superhero.
With a tiny book.
With a tiny book.
That. With a tiny book.
All right.
That's what kind of, all these are just alarms and should be at least kind of red flags that go off in your head to ask you, like,
what is
could
going
this
on?
really happen? Like,
Absolutely.
just ask yourself. Next clip, the young lady stating, what is my mom going to do without me?
Yeah. Talking about there's blood, there was book bags, and there was gunpowder all over. Do you even know what gunpowder looked like, man? All right, I'm not even trying to insult you, right? All right, so now with that said, gunpowder, are you mistaking it with gun shells? Yeah. Because you're not going to see gunpowder.
Ash from it, yeah.
Yeah, you need like a forensic type of, crew to come in and
really
chemical
assess
swabs
that.
and all that crazy stuff.
To even determine if
Come
it
on.
was gunpowder or not. But she was
Absolutely.
able to see
To
that
see
with
it?
her naked eye, with not having any kind of, obviously she's a student, quote unquote, so she doesn't have any experience with that. So
Hey,
how can you determine
This
that?
is not the Wild Wild West where people carry gunpowder around and they stuff their guns and they pull the trigger. That's not it. That's not the case.
Exactly.
She didn't say bullet shells everywhere. She didn't say nothing like that. So that was the third clip. Those are things that threw me off my pedestal real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Next clip.
Next clip.
And the one that I think is the most alarming, or should be, is the mom who took her daughter. Her daughter was supposedly in the shooting, and she took the call from her, and she was supposed to go and get her, but then she stopped and told her daughter that she's going to go and do the interview
At the Marriott. She was at the Marriott.
Picture yourself if your child calls you and they've just been either involved in the shooting or was injured and they're at the hospital. What will be your initial reaction? No matter if the news was there or not, think about your initial reaction. And then especially if the news is there, would you stop and do an interview, or are you rushing off to go to your child and tend to your child?
Yeah, I'm stiff-arming this lady with the mic. I'm sorry, I don't condone, what I'm saying, men hitting women, but she's getting a Heisman.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm running straight to the car. Bo Jackson.
Exactly.
You know
And not only that, look at her
straight facts.
demeanor. She appeared very calm. It's not like she was
Yo,
crying.
her daughter, her other daughter called,
Mm-hmm.
and her son is like, hey, mommy, so-and-so is calling. Don't worry about it. Tell her I'll call her back. What? Oh, that's my other daughter. She's come on.
So
the
you're
reporter had to tell you to go get you the kids.
Exactly. That's the
Come on.
most alarming thing to me. Is like that interview was more important than your, at that time now, 2 children that you supposedly identified. How?
So.
How does this? Out of all of these clips, again, just laying that foundation out there.
That's it. Planting the seeds.
Taking a look closely at the things that are being reported on the mainstream media.
So all right. So let's go off the first clip again. Let's just reiterate what the young lady said. She said there was 2 dead, one shot. So basically, let's drop 17 down to 2. So where did they get the other 15 bodies from?
There you go.
All right.
Yep.
Come on.
All of these things. Shot in the arm, but walking home.
Absolutely. They're showing invisible people on gurneys.
No one's on gurneys, but the news reporter is literally stating that he's being brought into the hospital. Are you guys looking at these clips?
Absolutely.
Or are you just listening?
It reminds me of 9/11 when, was it Building 7, the other building that went down? And the reporter was saying, oh, yeah, another building went down. It didn't even go down yet.
Exactly.
It's the same tactics that they've been doing.
Yes.
And nobody's seen it. Now, I'm not saying nobody died. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
We're not contesting that. We're not saying anything. We weren't there. I'm in Georgia. You know what I mean? I wasn't there. But all I'm trying to say is that, come on.
Listen, we're evaluating the information that has been presented to us in the news media, and news articles, everything that you guys are seeing and hearing. We're just really just assessing. And
Now, let's keep in
breaking down.
mind. The last 2 major mass shootings, we're talking about Las Vegas, and we're talking about this Florida shooting as far as school, involve AR-15s.
Yes. So
Okay.
why? Let's ask yourself, why would they target states like that, right?
States like that, the weapon, what's going on? So
yes.
All right. So let's just transition into the background of what is an AR-15. Now, a lot of people think it's an assault rifle. AR means AR means assault rifle.
And let me
it's
just
wrong.
clarify.
It is wrong.
The Army defines the assault rifle as a short, compact, selective fire weapon that fires a cartridge intermediate in power between submachine gun and rifle cartridges. So it's not considered that whatsoever.
It's not considered an assault rifle.
Yes.
Now, let's keep in mind, AR means armalite. Armalite weapons.
So it doesn't mean assault
It
rifle.
doesn't mean assault rifle. So I don't know where the misconception or the you know, I don't understand. I don't get it. People need to just start throwing in emails, sending me what their thoughts are because I don't understand. Now let's move on with the last two mass shootings in Las Vegas, which that was a red flag in itself. They're saying that it was a gun deal went wrong with the feds, X, Y, and Z. Who knows? Who knows? The only person that know is the people that were there.
That's right.
All right. So that involved AR-15s, and now this mass shooting is involving another AR-15. Now, let's talk about the background of these two states.
Yeah. So Florida specifically, first of all, you don't have to register your gun when you buy it. Those buying guns from licensed dealers, of course, you got to get a background check. So that's pretty much standard.
Typical stuff.
Typical. So the typical stuff is you got to get a background check. You got to wait 3 days typically to receive in that state for handguns, but you don't have to register it, okay? It doesn't regulate assault weapons, 50 caliber rifles, and large capacity ammunition magazines. You do not need a permit or actually license to buy the gun, nor, of course, you can't register it either. You don't need to register it. You don't need a permit to conceal carry a rifle or shotgun, although you do need it to conceal a handgun. And there's no restrictions, again, on the size of the magazines a gun owner can buy or possess.
Now, the size of the magazines, all right, AR-15s, they come with 30 round mags.
At least, yeah.
30 round mags, okay? So anything above 10, they feel is a little bit overboard.
Yeah, and that's what they're trying to get a stricter regulation on is anything 10 or over.
Absolutely.
You know, or they're trying to really.
But before we get into that and what the laws that they're trying to pass since way back when, let's talk about the laws with Las Vegas. It's literally identical to Florida.
Very less. It's one of the most least regulated or restricted states for gun laws.
Absolutely. Like, you really don't need to register your machine weapons in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
They had that same situation when that mass shooting occurred. You can find this on Newsweek. Yep. Las Vegas headline: Las Vegas gun laws, open carry, concealed weapons, machine guns, all legal in Nevada.
There you go.
Come on, it's literally identical. So it's a war on AR-15s. Now break down what AR-15s are. AR-15s are a less, I would say, a step down from an M16, which is a militarized gun. All right, AR-15s what the officers carry.
Yes.
Okay, because they can't carry militarized guns, so they dropped it down. Boom, they gave them an AR-15. They carry the same 223s and 5.56 ammunitions. Okay, I know because we have one.
Yep.
We have two, matter of fact. So the guns don't kill people. People kill people. All right, let's get that understood.
Yeah.
So with those guns that basically evens out or basically balances with the military guns, you have more of an even playing field. All right?
And let's think about the yardage too with the intermediate para cartridge. You can literally, with these guns, it really has an effective range of at least 300 meters or 300 yards rather. So when we say that, think about that. That's long range, right? So if there's restrictions on these type of guns now, and they're trying to not have regular citizens be able to purchase it, then you are less likely to have an opportunity to really see what's coming at you
From a distance.
From a distance until it's too late.
Now, if they ban AR-15s and you're stuck with a shotgun or a pistol, what's the range from that?
Exactly.
That's like 35 yards, 25 yards max.
You better have really practice your skills on that.
By then, they already got the drop on you. They surround you. You cannot be militant as civilians. You cannot defend yourself. Point blank. Period. They're trying to just strip you from your weapons, man. That's just it. That's just it. Everybody's thinking it's the AR-15. It should be illegal. Blah, blah, blah. It is legal. It is a rifle. It's not an assault rifle. Now, if you want to break down rifles, now let's talk about AK-47s.
Exactly.
AK-47s are rifles. All right. There's some shotguns that are rifles. All right. Now, the only thing that separates rifles from shotguns are the actual bore that's inside the barrel. Certain bores have certain spins, so it's certain what was it? I would say carvings inside the barrel that spins the bullet. To drop it down, just drop it to layman's terms.
Yep.
Okay, that makes it spin and go further. All right. So come on.
So if you're only talking about, that's the thing, is that they're only highlighting this one particular type of gun, the AR-15, and these multiple shootings, right? So I think you're making a great point that if you're really going to categorize that, talk about the other ones that'll be included in that.
Talk about AK-47s. Talk about certain shotguns.
Yes, and really bring it to your attention now when we're saying all this, and if it gets banned, how are you going to protect yourself? So the most important thing is, getting yourself out there before these things happen, because the more these things happen, such as these alleged shootings, mass shootings, think about the things that they're targeting in these shootings and what they're trying to do. So we're just trying to bring light to this information because the more you educate yourself, the more you know. Yeah. And the more you're able to protect yourself. And
we just made it clear that there's no gun registration in Nevada or in Florida. It's not a coincidence.
You don't need a permit. You don't need a license. You don't need to even register it. So a lot of states, some states, you don't need that license, right, to carry the gun, but you do need to register it. So again, these are, like I said, a lot less restrictions in these states. So when they're targeting these specific states and these things are happening in these states, it's not just a coincidence. It just happens to be that these states have the least amount of restrictions, and that's the most important thing I think to point out. Like, why are they doing this? So it's really important to take that into consideration.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I also wanted to point out that the book "Behold a Pale Horse" by Milton William Cooper, and that book came out in 1991. It basically talks about predicting school shootings by drugging individuals in order to disarm the public. Now, this came out in 1991. We can talk about coincidence. We can talk about the Illuminati card game that predict 9/11 with an explosion on two towers that look similar to the Twin Towers, and that came out in the 90s, I would believe, like 94, 95. These are not coincidence.
To add to that, in 94, that's actually when the federal assault weapons ban happened. And that took place from 1994. It was 10 years.
And isn't that the same? Isn't that the same law that they're trying to instill again?
Exactly.
Because of these school shootings and mass shootings that's going on in the country.
So all of these were initiated in the early 90s. There were actually laws passed against it. So they got it. They got it for 10 years. You could not purchase it. And in the early 2000s, it was reenacted. But this is exactly what they're trying to ban again. They're trying to pass this.
Now let's be blunt about this, and let's be honest. And this is not my personal opinion. Well, kind of, it leans on it, but but you have to really take into account too. Let's think common sense, because if you're not using common sense, you're being stupid, right? So the gun law in Florida, if you're 18, you can possess a weapon. You can go and buy a weapon when you're 18. Now, if you want to say guns kill, well, alcohol, they kill too, right?
So do cigarettes.
Liver poisoning. You know what I'm saying? Like it kills your liver. It when you're drinking and driving, you can kill other people. So it does more bad than good, right?
Yep.
So if you have to be 21 to drink, me personally, I feel as if you should be 21 to carry or buy a weapon. That's so if you want to play devil's advocate, I would say that's an issue I feel that needs to be corrected.
Yeah, that's a unique spin on there. Yeah, honestly,
that's
great.
exactly.
Yep.
So I'm not, like I said, I'm not being biased because I'm a licensed gun owner and responsible at that. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that let's be fair. Let's be fair. I'm seeing both sides. All right. I'm not being biased. I'm not nitpicking. So but I don't know. Man.
The only
It's
thing
kinda
that
tough.
listen, all these things are happening for a reason. They've been working at creating stricter gun laws nationwide. So all of these things that happen, these shootings that happen, take a closer look at them because they're affecting, or they will affect if you're interested. Let's just say you've been exploring in your mind, like, I'm thinking about getting this, I'm thinking about getting an AR-15. Then think pretty quickly. Because these things are happening at such a rapid pace.
And a lot of people, when we discuss guns, a lot of people will be like, oh, what do you need a gun for? If you have one, you should be fine. Oh, if you have two, that's a little bit too much. Oh, three, oh my gosh, they start wigging out the more guns you have. But what people don't understand is that certain guns serve different purposes.
Yes.
Okay.
Great point.
Let's really stress the fact about that. If you're and
Give us an
let's
example.
let's talk about this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of home invasions in Georgia.
Yes.
Okay. So in order to protect your house, what gun do you think you should have? A pistol or a shotgun? A shotgun will, depending on the pellets, covers a wide range. Okay, so you can cover a whole doorway with one shell. All right, depending on the pellets spreading.
And it's a deeper impact than a pistol.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So would you have a pistol or a shotgun? All right. Now, if you're driving, you have your wife next to your kids, and you're driving on the road, and you're getting fouled, and you're scared. Will you have a shotgun or a pistol? I mean, on you. I mean, you can't drive with a shotgun on you, so you carry a pistol.
More convenient.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Now, if you're a homeowner and you have land, what gun do you think you're going to have? An AR-15 or a shotgun? Knowing that you have land, you can.
Yeah, remember, you're trying to see
you
out ahead. So
absolutely.
Exactly.
AR-15s, we just said that can get to a yard.
300 yards.
Yeah, 330 yards.
Yep.
They can reach up to 3. So come on, some even further.
Yeah.
You put on scopes and stuff like that. Some people like it's like, but come on, it's the same way. Guns to adults are like Legos to kids.
Yeah, but it should. That's the thing, is that it definitely should be, and I think that that's such a great point. When you think about the amount of guns that somebody has, what you should be thinking about, in addition to that, is not only the amount, but what type of guns do these people or does
they have
this
hunting
person
guns?
have? Because it does serve different purposes. That's a great point. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out.
Now, if you're a woman, and a lot of women, I mean, come on, you guys get attacked every day.
Yeah.
You get whistled at. You get disrespected. You get thrown the B word and everything.
Yeah.
Now, would you have a knife on you or a gun if you had the option to? A little small 380.
Yep.
Something that you can just throw in your purse. Oh, so you'll probably take a mace, huh?
And it's funny because I was just thinking most people actually, and it's been promoted for us to protect ourselves with mace. And some states, I don't even think that's even prohibited. I mean, allowed in some states.
We have to look that up. We have to look that up because I want to know.
Because I know down here, coming to Georgia, that was just honestly anywhere, easily disposable in like stores and stuff. Yeah. But you don't see that so much in New York. So that's an interesting point to bring up. But if you had the option, ladies, if you had the option to really protect yourself, and keeping in mind that you actually, did some background information, you became more in tune and aware I guess with your handgun. It makes you feel more safe when you know more about it, when you're able to operate.
And you have to have
discipline
and responsibility of it.
There you go.
Because like I said before, guns don't kill, people do. So with that said, we're just gonna we're gonna wrap it up. I hope you guys like this shorter segment. Yeah. I mean, I like vibing with you guys even more. So that's personally me. I'm so used to that hour. I love talking to you guys.
I know.
But
we heard you, and we're answering to that. So any feedback that you have, please shoot us an email at organizedvybes@yahoo.com.
Absolutely. So until next week, y'all.
Bye.
Stay up.
This society is organized because of the violence that exists on the surface everywhere.
Believe this shit, take it, or let it alone, it's going down.
I'm not crazy at all, okay? Dirty is not crazy at all.
If my spirit can't connect with yours, then I don't really need to be around you.
We at Organized Vibes, thank you for vibing with us. Self-preservation stems preparation. giving us the motivation to achieve high frequencies for stimulation.
Government brainwash our people with the mind control theory. That's what they do.